You wake up every morning, and the world outside your window is a cacophony of beliefs, ideologies, and fervent prayers. You step out into a reality where the divine has been dissected, repackaged, and sold back to humanity in neatly categorized boxes. Christians, Catholics, Muslims, Buddhists, Hindus, Jews. Each group clings to a fragment of the divine, as if God is a jigsaw puzzle scattered across the earth. And each piece is convinced that it holds the key to the whole picture. But what if I told you that this division is a manipulation tool? A clever design that has turned faith into a weapon, a means of control, a way to keep us shackled to our own ignorance. You see, the architects of these divisions thrive on our differences. They teach us to see the world in black and white, to label ourselves and each other as us versus them. They instill fear and hatred, convincing us that the divine favors one group over another. As if God, in all his infinite wisdom, would choose to express himself in a myriad of contradictory ways, each claiming superiority over the others. It's as if we've taken the essence of the divine and fragmented it into competing factions, each one shouting louder than the last, drowning out the singular truth that binds us all. We are human. And yet, despite this orchestrated chaos, there's a whisper within us, a primal instinct that yearns for connection, for understanding, for love. But how often do we listen to that voice? Instead, we allow ourselves to be brainwashed, to be molded by the narratives handed down to us by those who wield power over belief. We are called slaves to our faith, shackled by doctrines that dictate our every thought and action. We march in lockstep, reciting prayers that have been crafted to control rather than liberate, to divide rather than unite. Consider this. We all share the same fate. We are born, we live, and we die. No matter the color of our skin, the language we speak, or the rituals we perform, we are all made of the same stardust. We bleed the same red blood. And yet, in our quest for belonging, we forget this fundamental truth. We kill each other, not just physically, but spiritually. We kill the God within ourselves when we elevate our beliefs above our humanity, when we convince ourselves that our way is the only way, when we allow our instincts for compassion and empathy to be drowned out by the noise of dogma. Look around. Wars are fought in the name of religion. Families are torn apart over differing beliefs. Communities are fractured by intolerance. The very essence of what it means to be human is lost in the chaos of our divisions. We become so consumed by our need to be right that we forget to be kind. We forget that every person we encounter is a reflection of ourselves, a mirror that reveals our own fears, our own hopes, our own struggles. And in this relentless pursuit of righteousness, we lose sight of the divine within us. We forget that God is not confined to the pages of sacred texts or the walls of places of worship. God is in the laughter of a child, the warmth of a stranger's smile, the compassion we show to those in need. God is in the moments when we choose love over hate, understanding over judgment, unity over division. It is time to awaken from this slumber, to break free from the chains of indoctrination. It is time to recognize that the divine is not a distant entity to be feared or worshipped in isolation, but a presence that resides within each of us. We must reclaim our instincts, our capacity for love and understanding, and allow them to guide us in our interactions with others. We must remind ourselves that we are not defined by our beliefs, but by our humanity. Imagine a world where we celebrate our differences instead of fearing them. A world where we come together not as Christians, Muslims, Buddhists, or Jews, but as human beings who share a common destiny. A world where we recognize that our true power lies not in our ability to dominate or control, but in our capacity to love and uplift one another. It is time to rise above the manipulation, to challenge the narratives that divide us, and to embrace the truth that we are all part of the same divine tapestry. We must learn to see beyond the labels, to look into the eyes of our fellow humans, and recognize the sacred spark that resides within them. We must remember that our instincts, our capacity for empathy, compassion, and love, are the true expressions of the divine. So, I implore you, take a moment to reflect. Ask yourself, what do you truly believe? Is it a belief that fosters division, or one that nurtures connection? Are you a slave to the narratives that have been handed down to you, or are you willing to break free and forge your own path? Because in the end, the greatest act of faith is not found in the rituals we perform or the words we utter, but in the love we share and the understanding we cultivate with one another. Let us not kill the God within us any longer. Let us instead nurture that divine spark, allowing it to guide us toward a future where we are united in our shared humanity, where we recognize that we are all, in essence, one.